Well, hello, hello. It's Thursday night, and I'm so glad to be here. My name is Tia Knapp, and with me I have my good friend, Dr. Michael Gross.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Michael has a powerful message for us tonight, as he does every Thursday night. I really look forward to when we get together because he's such a blessing and he's truly changed my life. There were times when I really felt like I was, you know, low self-esteem in the whole 9 yards, 10 yards, whatever it is, right? And that's not the way I feel anymore. He's changed my life in so many ways, and I'm hoping that no, not I'm hoping. I know his messages are powerful, and they are life changing for anyone who chooses to listen. So I'm going to give you a quick intro, and then we'll get right to you, Michael. Okay? Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, transformational and energy coach. He's an entrepreneur, and he's the author of the Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true source's love, joy, and happiness. Michael has more than 30 years of experience in all facets of spiritual. How do you say it, Michael? How would you say it? Spiritual experiences?
Experiences, yes.
Okay. He's done a lot of things. For over 30 years, he's been a spiritual teacher, a multidimensional healer, transformational coach who is exceptionally skilled in all aspects of soul, oversoul, vibrations, frequencies, body timing, life force energies, and so much more. He holds many degrees, and I'm really super excited that we have an opportunity to also share that he's got a manifestation workshop coming up starting tomorrow. Right, Michael?
Yes.
Okay.
April 4th.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of Michael's contact information in the comments section and turn the floor over to you, Michael, so that you can get right onto your important topic. And I will be right here. If there's any questions, I'll make sure that they pop up and I'll let you know what they are. Okay. Michael, are you ready? Did you freeze? Uh-oh. Michael, did we get an interruption in our connection? Goodness sake. Hi there, Inga. I think Michael's connection froze. Hold on a sec, okay? I'm going to put myself on mute and call him really quick.
Hello, I lost you.
Hi, Michael. Yes, I'm on. Why don't you go ahead and start your message, and I'll just listen in and I'll let you know when you're ready. All right, everyone. There was a little internet glitch, and Michael's logging back in so that we'll be able to continue with his message. Okay. Sorry about that, but technology. I live up here in the mountain, and sometimes things happen. So, in the meantime, while I wait for Michael to join us again, I'll give you a little more information on Dr. Michael Gross. Okay. He holds many degrees, some of which include a doctorate of alternative healing, psychology. He's also a Reiki master teacher, a thought field therapist, a certified professional hypnotherapist, and he's a non-denominational minister. He wears many hats, and he's incredibly knowledgeable on all aspects of how to reconnect to God, the true source. He's done many different workshops in cellular release, manifestation protocols, energy multidimensional healing, enlightenment, and more. He's also an international intuitive consultant for corporations, and he's traveled over half the world. His clients are in the USA, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South America, Asia, and other countries. He's even got clients in South Korea, and his messages are now being heard in the Baltic countries and in Sweden, and even more in South Korea. Things are growing rapidly for him, and right now it's a perfect time to be connecting with Michael because He really is the catalyst to transformation. Technology, we have a little issue with technology, but that's okay. We have our strong suits, and technology sometimes is a little bit of a challenge. And as I said, it's all right because it's he has a spiritual soul message. He has a soul mission and goal, and I don't know where he is, but he's totally changed my life. I'll share a story with you while we wait for him. Okay? Uh-oh. Hang on a minute. He's on the phone. Wow, Mercury is in retrograde, you guys, and Mercury has a tendency to sometimes mess with our signals. And our internet is Michael doesn't have any internet on one computer, so he's running to the other one. He has a couple in his house, so he will be in, and we aren't going to shortchange you. We'll just stay on longer with his message, okay? Um, like I was saying, I don't know if you've heard this story, but um, he saved me from the swill in the gutter. And in the story, it was not a physical thing. I wasn't sitting in an ugly gutter of slop. But what happened was on my insides, I felt like I was. I felt like I had no self worth, no self love, and no self esteem. I felt like I was no one, like everybody else's doormat, and people would just walk right over me. And I let them. For a long, long time, I let them. And I didn't know anything because I thought that, I'm a prisoner in this crazy place and this is what it is for me. And in my meditation one time, what I realized was that I was actually sitting in the gutter full of filthy water and I was drowning. And I opened my eyes and I saw a hand reaching in. And that hand was the only, with all the energy I had, I reached out and grabbed his hand. And I didn't know who he was. But what happened was he pulled me out. And as I wiped the dirty water off my face, I saw Michael standing there in a beautiful, brilliant white light. And today, I look at that as Michael's taken me from the swill in the gutter to amazing grace. The beautiful things he woke up my soul. I'm not quite sure grammatically how to say that, but he woke up my soul. And since then, the years that we've worked together, I've grown. I've learned a lot, not only about, life and spirituality. I've experienced a lot, but more than anything, I've learned about myself. And when you spend your time looking at yourself and, really having that talk in the mirror with yourself, and you realize that, what, these are old behaviors, and a lot of these old behaviors were programmed into my head through my life. Our parents teach us things, our communities teaches us things, our friends teach us things. And, we also have to realize what's most important. It's not what other people tell us. Hi, Michael. It's
Hello,
not.
everyone. Thank you.
I'm just going to finish my story really quick. I only have two more
Sure.
sentences, okay? It's not so much what other people brainwash us into believing, it's what we hear within our soul. That's what's most important when you listen to the voice within. So on that note, Michael, welcome back. It's good
Thank
to
you.
see you. And I'm going to go ahead and mute out and put your contact information in the chat, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Sorry for the technical problems, but that's the way life goes. Mercury retrograde, so we get a little challenged. I wanted to speak to you this evening about subterfuge of life. It is how we kind of create a false belief or run away or create a mask or something that we can live with or be in harmony and balance with. But we have to look around at all of our lives. And looking around all our lives is that there are so many hidden meanings in our life. You never look at subterfuge as a meaning, but it really is a meaning. Why do people behave the way they do? Why do you react the way you do? How do you answer you do? You ever talk to a person to make a suggestion, and they'll make all kinds of excuses about, yeah, well, because of this and because of that, rather than saying, oh, thank you very much, and listening. too busy defending their actions. They're doing it because they do not wish to appear stupid, dumb, ignorant, or perhaps some other reason. But the truth of the matter is, when somebody's offering you a suggestion, they're really coming from the heart. Now it's up for you to follow through or to amend it or enhance it or whatever you may do. But thank them very much for being thoughtful enough to and considerate to offer this suggestion. Most importantly, you have to see, does it apply to you? Everything in life has a meaning, and we're always looking for an excuse for the why this is happening, that's happening. And truly, what is the meaning of life? Has always been the big question. You hear me chuckle. Most importantly, the subterfuge of life is how we run away from things, put on a mask and hide, and don't want to face the issues. What if you were to learn that every challenge in your life, instead of running away and creating an excuse, is something to you to learn and grow? Now, it may be very innocuous because you already know it, but on the other hand, maybe you don't know it, or maybe you need to be reminded of it. We're at a very, very difficult time in our lives on this planet. And that difficult time in our life on our planet is, what direction do we go to? What is critical thinking? What do we think about? And why are we not listening to our own inner voice as opposed to listening to someone else? That inner voice is divided into two parts. It's the ego, which is self satisfying. Then that other inner voice comes from the soul. And of course, you're wondering, how do you discern it? Well, if it's coming from the ego, you'll feel an emotion: anger, fear, doubt, frustration. You want to lash out, or you want to scream and yell, or you want to say, look at me, I'm wonderful, or some kind of egoistic or emotional words or thoughts to make yourself feel wonderful and strong and powerful. On the other hand, who are you proving this to? You're proving it to yourself to feel these emotions, because why? You are feeling inadequate. So therefore, the subterfuge, when someone says something, or you're watching TV and experiencing it, this subterfuge is something to make you feel good. What if you were to stay there, well, let's see, I'm 9 years old and this is brand new. I'm learning something. What am I going to learn for this? How can I apply it to make myself joyous, happy, prosperous, abundant, or however it supplies or applies? But we never do that. Well, seldom, if ever. We're too busy defending ourselves and trying to make ourselves look grandiose and important, and we know it all. The truth of it all, we don't know everything. Every experience on this planet, every experience in your life is something new. And it's as simple as going outside and watching an ant. Well, what is an ant? Watch the ant. It is scurrying around with purpose. What is the purpose? It's gathering food, it's making a nest, it's going into survival. It just knows what to do. But in our life, we have so many distractions. In our life, does that ant really care whether you're judging it or not? Heck no, I'm building my nest, I'm helping the queen, and I'm going to gather food. That's my mission, that's what I'm going to do. I don't care what you look at and say, Michael, this is what I'm going to do. I got blinders on, I'm going to do that. What if you put blinders on and you turn around and say, this is my mission and goal, this is what I achieve for today, even if it's, you're writing a book, or maybe you're paying your bills or whatever, and you just focus on that with no judgment. Going to get my bills paid. Oh, look at all this money I'm paying the bills. Thank you so much for this abundance and prosperity. All this money I have to pay these bills. This is wonderful. And look, those bills are going to go to electric company, corporations, credit cards. It's going to keep people working. It's going to pay them a salary. They're going to be happy. So if you look down the food chain, so to speak, or the chain of life, the little insignificant thing you're doing, in this case, paying a bill, is affecting many people. Not only the corporations or the businesses or the electric company, whatever it is, but also all those at work, all those that supply the energy, all those that turn around and help the company become successful, even if you can't see or know it. So you are a very important part of life. And once you recognize that you're an important part of life, who else are you important to? Stop and think. Who else? Your husband, your wife, your children? Yeah. I say, yeah. But more important, you're important to yourself. because you are the catalyst. You are the energy that makes everything work in your family. Yes, there are other contributors, but think about this self. Look at a plant. What makes a plant really successful? Chlorophyll. That's the plant turns green. The chlorophyll that feeds the plant, brings the color, allows the sunlight, helps transmute the wind and rain to positive energy to feed the plant or grass or whatever it is. We have forgotten that even though you may be invisible to everybody else in this big planet, you play an important part. And every human being, every soul plays an important part in this planet. And once you understand that, I don't care if you're over in the jungles and there's thousands of lions and tigers around you, you may think yourself as food, and you could be, but you play an important part. I'm just humorous about food, but you play an important part of the life. And it's time for us to take a look and say, where's our thinking? What are we running from? What are we hiding from? What are we fearful of? And how do I find harmony and balance in my life? That's really difficult. And of course, everybody says, what's my purpose in life? Well, your purpose in life is to learn the big three: unconditional love and allowingness and non judgmentalness. It's to appreciate life, not scoff at life, not judge life, not be jealous of life, not looking around and saying somebody else has more than you do. It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with you, how you're existing, how you think, and how you feel. Because how you think and feel about yourself, you know what you're doing? You're creating your life by your thoughts, your energies, and your feeling. You are creating your life. Now, I know T, you wanted to say something.
I do. Thank you so much for this beautiful topic, because yeah, for me, I've always ended up listening to everybody else and how they're all telling me that I should be living my life, and that's been going on for decades. So my question to you is, as we're creating our life, how can we tell if we put our blinders on and focus on one goal? How can we tell that that is a goal that our soul is telling us to be on track for? And how can can you help the people understand how to recognize when it's stuff that we shouldn't be focusing our attention on, that we actually have our own purpose? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
More importantly, you have to discern whether it's the ego that is creating it or the soul. Stop for a moment. Ego is self satisfying, it's looking for recognition, it's looking for fame and acceptance and the yada, yada, yada. Everything. Whereas the soul is giving you directions to make your life more complete and happy on an individual basis. So I'll give you an example. If it is the ego, then it's going to give you multiple reasons why. You're going to look famous, you're going to make a lot of money, people are going to worship you, they're going to come to you, seek you advice, yada, 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 yada. The soul will say, take this path, that's it. Or it may say, take this path for healing, or just take this path. The reason the soul does not have to give you a toilet roll paper of excuses why you should do it is because it has one thing in mind: your heart and right action. You came here, I came here, we came here to learn how to function on this planet, to learn about creating joy and happiness on an individual basis, to learn about self worth, self love, and self esteem, to learn about what is needed in your life to heal any karma. So, how do you know if you have a karma? Everybody has karma, everybody. And there are two kinds of karma: dharma, you might call, which is reward for what you're doing in this lifetime and perhaps a lifetime. And karma, of course, is nothing but an experience. But as I always say, it gets a bad rap. It sounds threatening. But you are creating your life of experiences, which is karma every moment. If you do something kind, you help somebody out. Maybe there's some homeless and you do something thoughtful. Or you call up a friend and say, how are you feeling? I've been thinking of you. Just that simple. You're creating a vibration and energy of positivity. On the other hand, when you're judgmental or critical or looking at someone and criticizing someone, you are creating karma for it to come back to you. You would understand what you did to them. Is this a punishment? No. As I would say, you're learning what works and doesn't work. That's it. That's all you're learning. So your whole life in this earthly being, in this earthly body, is about experiencing the life love, joy, happiness, sadness, anger, frustration. But it's really a choice of yours. How much do you want to manifest and create challenging karma versus wonderful, rewarding dharma? But even when you're creating wonderful, warming, loving dharma, it has to be from your soul, not a hidden agenda. Because it's a hidden agenda, you are creating karma. You know when you're lying to a person. You know what you're doing. Sometimes you might tell a little white lie, and that's pretty cool. A white lie is person comes up, oh, how do you like my new dress and skirt? You go, oh, it looks really good on you. It's a wise choice. Are you creating karma? Yeah, you're helping person feel good. That's the kind of dharma you're creating. You're giving them really, really warmth. You know, there's an old joke, and when a male and a female are together, and the woman will say, "Look at that woman! Look, isn't she so beautiful? You're so beautiful." If you're male, you're sharp. Because if you say yes, she's going to feel insecure. You're being set up. So what the answer is? What woman? What woman? What woman? Right? Now, we laugh at this, but that's the truth. That's going to make your spouse feel a lot more important because you don't see someone more beautiful than her. But it's really a truth. Sometimes we test people, whether you're male or female, you test people. Why are you testing a person? It's a subterfuge that you're setting up to receive compliments because you are feeling inadequate. None of us were born inadequate. None of us came here to feel inadequate. None of us were here to be punished. We're here for the experience of this body and this life. Yes, there may be some karma you choose. That's the experience. But it's been challenging, and I hate the word negative or bad, although sometimes I admit I slip. It's for you to learn and grow. It's as simple as getting up in the morning. And, we used to get up in the morning and have bread or bagel or whatever, scone, whatever you're having, and you put butter on it. Well, now the in thing is to make some toast or a bagel or whatever and put avocado on it. Oh, it's so healthy. And that's great. But that's a new experience, isn't it? And then tasting the avocado, if it's overripe, too ripe, needs some salt, whatever it needs or whatever. Just feel how it goes down your throat and into your stomach. Feel the joy and the excitement and the beauty of the food. It's like you have your own personal vehicle. You're putting in fuel. The fuel is food. It's so beautiful. But we don't stop to smell the flowers. An old trite cliche, meaning, do we really stop to enjoy life? Instead, we're running away. You're running away to vacation. You're running away doing microdosing. You're running away going to dinner. You're running away from all these things. Now, none of those are really bad, except if you become obsessive with it. I have to go on vacation. I have to do this. I have to do that. Why can't you be alone by yourself or with your family? I can't do that. It's boring, blah, 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 blah. What you're really saying is you're ignoring them. They're not important. Only things you desire that is important. And you don't have to be responsible for entertaining them because the trip itself will entertain them. And then you'll either get accolades or you go, boy, this is boring. And then you'll feel bad. And as I would say, you'll feel lower than a pregnant snake. So this is really what happens. The important point, I want to become very poignant in what I'm saying. The important point that I'm trying to make, or statement I'm trying to make, is this is a time of great confusion. This is a time of finding out who you are. This is a time of not running away, but spending time to examine what is really, really important for you. And hopefully it's not money. Hopefully it's not having a big car, house, or boat. Hopefully, it's finding some joy and happiness, or, as I would say that I've learned from others, what makes your heart sing? Not your ego, but what makes your heart sing? Feeling good and happy about yourself and just the simple things of life that are happy. I brought this up before. And little children, little babies, you give them all these sophisticated toys. And they open up the little pantry and they take out a pot with a spoon and bang on the pot with the spoon and laugh instead of all the electronic toys. So as parents today, well, they got to do well at school. They got to be very well educated, and they got to make it in life. And we want them to make it in life. Oh, we're kind of busy doing this and that. We'll set up play dates. Hi, kids. How are you? Here's dinner. I'm going on my computer. I'm going to do this, and you're leaving the children alone. And that's what's beginning to happen. The interaction, the socialization of a family is what creates not only a family core and understanding, but creates knowledge. Because as they learn from you and the way you interact when they have a family or just a spouse or whatever they're doing, it is you as the individual who made a roadmap, we'll call it AI now, artificial intelligence, of how to react, how to handle certain things, and how do I find inner joy and happiness. And that's what we're here for, to learn about inner joy and happiness instead of the subterfuge of running away, hiding, making excuses, buying all these wonderful things. And as Steve Jobs said, a $30 watch will say sorry. I'm floating, so let me reground. Okay, $30 watch will tell you the same thing, same time as a $3,000 watch. A $2,000 car will get you the same point as a $1.5 million car. What's important to you? Why do you need this or that? I can see you would like the best if there's some kind of an appliance or something like that. Of course, you want the best, not because it costs more, but it has more features and it lasts longer. But other than that, your subterfuge in life is you're running away from looking at yourself and following the needs of what? Others. That's what you're following, the needs of others, what's advertised, what you're being brainwashed, and forgotten one important thing, and that is you created out of love, by love, from love, and with love. And you probably, most of you listening to this, you truly have never expected, never felt what it is to have love. But now, if your expectation is to have love, then that expectation will be filled in the most simplest way possible. And that is nothing grandiose, nothing special, just sitting there, closing your eyes, and asking to feel the true source of unconditional love. And when you do that, you feel this overwhelming feeling of compassion and love and joy, like you want to hug every tree, every person. You want to share joy and laugh. That's what you're here to learn. You knew it before you incarnated. Now it's time to relearn it. The second step is, how do I take that energy of unconditional love? How do I share it? How do I make it self evident? And who cares if they laugh at me or think it's immaterial? Don't you know that there are only two energies, that of love and anything that is not of love? Don't you know that you created out of love, by love, from love, and with love? The very act of love is creation. Whether your parents loved each other, whether you had a one night stand, whether something else happened by mistake, the energy of love is compassion, understanding, and fullness and complete. That's what's so important. That is the magic that holds your body together. That is the magic that heals you. That is the magic that opens your soul and your mind to the true source to find peace and happiness and joy. Because all the toys you have when you birth out, sayonara, you don't get it. It's left behind, maybe to your children. Isn't that a wonderful thing? I left my children $100 million. And what do you find? Most of the children, they're spoiled little brats. And they think the world, just owes them everything. And I've been with people, oh, mom and dad have a lot of money. Who cares? We'll do this, we'll do that. They would never had enough money. They would always ask the mom, knew this, knew that. They have no value system. The value system is the experience of obtaining anything in your life: love, joy, happiness, prosperity, abundance, your homes, anything material and immaterial. That's the experience that you earned it, you created it, and you own it. And no one can take that experience away. No one, nothing. That's how those survivors of the Holocaust were able to survive, malnourished, hungry, sick, and ill. But they held on to one thing, and they held on that they are created out of love, by love, from love, and with love. Like God loves me. God's not going to let me be this way, and the true source won't. And if you believe in that, whatever you believe in, you create. What you think, you create, and what you create, you experience. Pretty simple. I know we're running a little over time, aren't we, to you?
We are a little bit, but that's okay, Michael.
So I'd
That's
like to
okay.
thank you. So everyone, I would like to leave you with this thought. And the thought I desire to leave you with at this point is: without life, there is no love. And without love, there is no life. And you asked for life. Please remember that. So I'd like to remind you of a couple of things. And that is every Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., called Soul Awakening. And I cordially invite you on freeconferencecall.com. Come on in, ask a question. And even if you may know this and forgotten it, what have you got to lose? Just new knowledge. But there's an energy and frequency and vibration when you do spiritual work of love that is there. Time for you to embrace it. Well, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., you can ask any question you so desire. Hopefully, I'm able to answer it. And then I leave you a 10-minute message. To access that on Tuesday evening, what do they need to do to you?
You just dial in to 202 926 1059 and the access code, Michael.
125-446-pound. One
One
more
more
time.
time. 202 926 1059 and the access code.
125-446-pound. I invite all of you to join us. What's the charge? Zero. What are the benefits? You gain new knowledge and you'll feel the energy of love. Now, I mentioned that we have a 10-minute message. And in that 10 minutes message, it's recorded. You can see some of them on YouTube. And there's a wonderful picture taken by award-winning photographer, Tia Knapp. And there's a little motivational thought. And then you'll hear something I'm sharing with you during the 10 minutes. In order to access that, and you can do it on your phone, you can on YouTube, you can drive in your car, you can do it freeconferencecall.com. You're frustrated, you're angry, you're upset. It's magical because there are 365 of these. Starts at number 3, and just choose anyone. You've heard me say this before. I forgot to label each one. The True Source said, "You want to read through 365, Michael?" Nope, don't have the patience. Trust your soul. Trust your soul. Choose a number: 176, 93, whatever it is. To access that information to you, why don't you share that?
That number is 434 300 4170 and the access code.
125-446-pound. Now, one more time.
The number is 434 300 4170 and the code, Michael.
125-446-pound. One other item, actually two more. The second item is the second Saturday of every month from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. We do what was called the Mass Consciousness Healing. That's my pet project. You call in, we chat for a few moments, then we go into a deep meditation, and then we become a conduit for the true source's unconditional love. touching the animal, mineral, vegetable kingdom on this planet, transmuting and raising the vibrations of it, which means your cells will begin to glow with that pink vibrational energy of unconditional love, which brings about joy and happiness and healing, and really sets your month up to have healing and joy and awareness and happiness. To access that information, please share that.
That's the same number as the Tuesday call in, which is 202 926 1059. And the access code, Michael?
125446 #. So everyone, please join us. It's on freeconferencecall.com. I also offer a complimentary consultation, about a half an hour long. Sometimes it's a little longer. So please take me up on it. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'll just give you whatever information I'm capable of. And then if you have any questions, or if I can be of service, you can let me know. If not, I'm honored to have you call. So Tio has put that information in my private cell, and feel free to call me at any time. And as we mentioned, on April 4th, which is tomorrow, short notice, we're doing the manifestation protocols. There's 3 different days, and that's Friday evening 5 to 7, Saturday 9:30 to 5:30, and Sunday 9:30 to 4:30. It will change your life. This is the 3rd year that I'm doing it, and you'll learn how to create the life that you're of joy and happiness, but more important, your soul path. So if it feels right, give me a chat, and if not, thank you for listening. I want to thank all of you for joining me. I want to thank all of you for being with me. I'm going to have to you, I'm going to use my book, so you use your book.
Gotcha.
All right, so Tio is holding a book, and in the book, it's called Healing the Holes in Your Soul by Tio Knapp. There's some guy that wrote a forward that just like that guy. He did a great job. And it's all a story about a beautiful woman who took a trip of life. And this deep trip of life took her down to the gutter and back into the light, like the phoenix, the mythological bird of rebirth. It's a powerful book. It's a life-changing book. It's a book of hope, and it's a book of health, of joy and happiness. And it's a book that you all should take time to read, how you can overcome adversity and turn it into honey. It's a great book. I suggest all of you to read it. It will change your life.
Thank you, Michael, for the beautiful words about my book and the beautiful message that you wrote within the pages of my book. And also this beautiful topic. You've taught us a lot tonight. And the book that he's holding is The Spiritual Primer. I have that one too, and I'm just going to read it real quick. It's Reconnecting to God, to experience your true sources, love, joy, and happiness, which is what I was earlier referring to. Without his book saved my life. In my opinion, it's priceless. It's absolutely priceless because I met the man. It was a wonderful experience. I'll share that with you another time about how he woke up my soul. But the most important thing is definitely take Michael up on his complimentary consultation and definitely get your hands on one of his books, because when you contact him, Dr. Michael Gross 7 at gmail.com, he will connect with you and inscribe a special message inside your book. And I know he'll be filling your book with a special loving energy. That's what we both do. And I tell you, he's changed my life in so many ways. So I highly encourage all of you to share this with, this Thursday night event with your friends. Invite them to join us and invite them to go and subscribe to Michael's YouTube channel, Dr. Michael B. Gross, okay? He has all the recordings that we've been doing on Thursday nights that were originally once back in the day on Sunday night. They're all on YouTube. He's got a lot of his audio messages there. Definitely connect with him. He's well worth your time. He is truly a blessing in my life. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for the kind words. Everyone, thank you so much. just to remember, all of you, that you are unlimited and you can create the life you so desire. You've already created one part of it. How about creating the other part with soul guidance? Thank you, everyone. We wish you well. We wish you joy. And remember, you are unlimited. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
We love you.
We love you. Take care.